Tony's mod time, it's mod time with Tony. Me, I'm Tony, and these are the mods. Mod time!
Welcome to my time for Monday, May 23rd. There is a lot of interesting stuff out today. This is going to take a minute. Settle back, get a drink. Let's get to the mods. We're going to start off here at the top. We got a bunch to show in game, a bunch of new stuff that could be very cool. Let's get to it. Update to the farm silo package and the bunker silo. Both of those are MP fixes. The John Deere 7010 gets it fixed. Adds precision farming. Main model adjustments, beacon lights, number plates, and exhaust configurations. The lightweight gets a gamepad control. I don't know what that is. So you couldn't raise and lower it. Now you can. Make sure you update that. Now we get to new stuff. Grass dryer, we're going to show that off. The Kermeg tree waste rake. I don't understand this mod, I'll be honest. It's 800 bucks. Apparently you pick it up with the crane and you drag away brush in the forest. So realism? Realism is key. All platforms. IBC and pallet stack. This is bulk buy. 16 pallets of liquid fert or herbicide. So one pallet is 3,200 bucks. I think that's pretty standard. But you can beat up to 16. And you can also select the number of pallets for poplar, sugarcane, silage additive, mineral feed, pioneer seed, patent Cali solid fert pallet, and Epso top liquid fertilizer pallet. So bulk buy. See here, big stacks. Pretty neat. Nope, was that all platforms? Let's go back. That is all platforms. Very cool. We got a Samson PG pack. There are 5 of these things. You see, all different capacities. We go from 20,500 to 34,500, and we go in price from 102 to 202. So slurry tankers, all different capacities. Next, we got the Horse Joker 6T. It is all platforms. It is 28,456 bucks. 6 meters, requires 156 horsepower. It's a disc harrow, and it has a tank on it, which I'm guessing would be seed or fert, although it does not say. Descriptions are your friend. It is all platforms. Lizard animal trailer, all platforms. 2 cows, 2 pigs, 2 sheep, 3,650 bucks. A nice small trailer for your small farms. I like this. You don't have to buy a huge trailer to transport a couple cows. We got the big 9RT. We're going to show that up as well. We got a lizard subsoiler, 700 bucks, or 7,000 bucks, excuse me. 80 horsepower, 2.1 meters. It's small. It's a subsoiler. It's all platforms. We got a simple cow barn by Omatana. We like Omatana stuff. She usually makes some good mods. 2 cow barns. One requires you to add water. The other one is automatic water. 25 cows for 25,000. With the automatic water, it is 35,000, so you're going to pay a little bit up front for that. Not bad at all. Long shed is 4 grand, short shed is 3 grand. So these are 2 separate mods. You put the shed inside the pasture. There's your 2 different sheds. There's your barns, one with, one without water. All platforms. Stationary wood chipper. We're going to show this one off as well. I like it. It's a Zadalzak mod. We're a fan of his stuff in this channel. We got Pro Box bulk seed container. It is all platforms. It is 1,584 liters for 1,500 bucks. It is a bigger, refillable box for seeds. You can attach it to your front loader, skid steer, 10-lander without forks to be refilled, which is pretty cool in and of itself. Also takes fertilizer, it says. As you see here, I don't know if that's forks or not. It says it doesn't need forks, but it is all platforms. It is pretty cool. It is realistic. Those do exist in real life. I got a Rusty Shack prefab. We're not going to show it. Be honest, it didn't look rusty. We got a half-timbered shelter. 15 meters, 63.5. It is all platforms. It's a nice looking shed. Nice lights. Good snow mask. We got the SIP Disc 300. It's a mower. It's 3 meters, 55 horsepower required, 8,500 bucks for all platforms. We've had this in 19. You know what it is. It's a nice mower. That's quite an angle there. Next we got the Star Revoke Ninja 1900, 19,000. Numbers are hard today. 33,000. Those are your capacities. You got a bunch of different options. 13 wheel configurations for a auger wagon seems like a bit much, but who am I to judge? All platforms. The smaller one's 38 grand. The bigger one's 66 grand. There is a bunch of different configurations. These are very cool looking. I like them. Next, we got a metal shed. Now, this one does look rusty. It's 15 grand. It is all platforms. You know what? It's going to keep the rain up your stuff. Store some hay in there if you want. Two maps today. Brown box. By the Lord, we'll start off. Middle Franconia. 8 productions, 5 selling stations, 22 fields, 38 buyable spaces. All the good stuff, forestry. You need the Bavarian Farm Pack. Don't forget that. This is all platforms. There is your Bavarian Farm Pack stuff. It's got modding welt stuff. Those are pretty cool stuff. I had that on my maps, even though I'm not required to. Nice BGA. The production area. There's PDA. A good small size map looks like. Small and medium. Middle Franconia. I like this farmyard. And then European countryside is all platforms as well. It includes a city. That's good. Production chains. Vehicle store. That's useful. 60 buyable areas, 48 fields, and collectibles. Again, this looks pretty neat. A nice layout with the river crossing here. The city down here. Again, smaller size fields. Nice mountain views. It's your sawmill. You can see the good view of the fields here. Very, very impressive. If you're into small maps, this looks like a good one for you. Next, we got the Rosso Mash DP, 15 grand. Requires 170 horsepower, 3.5 meter working width. It is a plow. It is available for all platforms. And at page 1, we got the Roush Axis. PC only, 25 grand. You got it working with 42 meters. Capacities go from 900 to 2900. And what's cool about these is the capacities change the look. So you got small for your 900, big for your 2900, and everything in between. I like that it changes the look instead of just the amount. I like the Roush. It's 42 meters, so it's big. That is kind of cool for a smaller farm. But PC only. Let's get to page 2. Screenshot mode. We're going to show this off. Another screenshot mode. This one I think has a little bit better UI, so we'll show that off. Got a lizard bale trailer. It is PC only, even though it's lizard. 1,500 bucks. It's a little bale trailer. Kind of cool. Very old school look. These are what's going to be talked about today. Production revamp. These two. We're going to go through those in as much detail as I can. I still don't quite understand every little bit about them. But we'll go through those. And then lastly, we got the two trucks, the 114G and the 124G. The 114G becomes an R and the T, and we'll show those. 320 horsepower for 250 grand. And the 124 is 360 horsepower for 280 grand. You got a bunch of configurations, but you see here, you got this version of the truck. Those are the two. And then here's your two. So you got the one with the big cab and the nose in the front, the flat front, and then the flat front there, and the big engine there. So different engine styles, different truck styles. I don't know enough about trucks to know what these are called, but you got two different styles, two different horsepowers, 4 different trucks. They are all platforms. So again, let's get to these productions. We're going to look here in the Modhub first, because it does give a lot of description. This is a script. It is obviously PC only. So this gives you possibility to create recipes with multiple input groups, maximum of 5. Combine several productions in one production line. Previously had to be created as separate ones. Now this, I think, is one of the big features. And you will see how this gets used in the game. But basically, instead of 5 different recipes, you have the ability to mix and match these recipes. You can add boosters to increase output, and we'll show that as well. You can disable the booster if you like. Add output mode selling, distributing spawn, which was keep before, which was store away, automatic spawn, or store in, which is new, which is very cool. Instead of those spawning those pallets out, you can keep them internally. You got an additional display to show shared throughput capacity in the production chains. Productions that are mission targets can no longer run full if they don't belong to anyone, which is great. That's a fix for that included. And productions written without revamp will continue to work. Now this does not change production, just the script. There is a tutorial on this site, and if we go to that, you can see it's Google Doc. Things have to be done for this to work. No mod is allowed to use a name that comes before FS22_A_ alphabetically. So that's going to change how mod makers make their productions, maybe. He asked that everyone adds dependencies to their mod, so it works. And if you see like mixing groups here, input your grains plus fertilizer equals seeds. Now all these are group 1. So what this does is says 4 inputs marked with mixed 1 are equal. So wheat, barley, oat, sorghum are equal. In addition to fertilizer, so that's this other part here that's not in group 1, only one of the 4 types of grain must be present so seeds can be produced. So you can fill your production with wheat and it'll produce seeds. You can fill it with wheat, barley, oat, sorghum, and it'll produce seeds. But you only need one of these to start producing seeds. You don't need all 4. So if you run out of wheat and there's barley in there, it'll start to use barley next. If you run out of barley, it'll start to use oat next, and then sorghum last. So it sort of condenses and simplifies all your productions. And if you read this, it goes through, you'll see there's the pig food again. So if you see these are mixed in certain mixes, so you have root crops as group 1, so your potatoes, your sugar beet, and your cuts. Group 2 is your grains. This is very similar as well. You only need one of these per group. So you only need potatoes or sugar beet cut or sugar beet, one of those for it to work. You could have all 3 in there, but you only need one. You only need one of the grains for it to work. You only need one of the base food, the corn, the sorghum, and the millet. And the proteins, which is the canola, sunflower, and soybeans. And it will make pig food. So basically, you have this, it says it replaces 54 individual recipes because the combinations thereof, you could have sugar beets, corn, wheat, and canola. Or you could have sugar beets, corn, wheat, and sunflower. Sugar beets, corn, wheat, and soybeans. That's 3 different recipes right there. You do that over and over again. That's 54 individual production chains that are combined into one. So you don't have that all filling up with those different recipes. It's basically whatever you put in there. As long as you have something in there from each group, you're going to make pig food, which is very cool. So let's go back. Let's look at it in game and we'll maybe get a better sense of how it works. Now this does greenhouses as well. The greenhouses get boosters. So we got a greenhouse placed down here. Now where you find these is under construction. So for the greenhouses, for example, you go into greenhouses and you'll see these symbols above them. These are his greenhouses that do it, small, medium, and large. These are your base games. So we put down the small. Now for the factories, again, you'll see the symbol above. Here's the BGAs. Again, animal food production, a fermenting tower, a lime factory, and seeds and fert. And we've placed a few of these. Let's go through them, show you what they look like when you get in there. They look normal. And we save. So our greenhouse here, same look here, but see, water plus seeds. So water will work. 16 water will get you 10 tomatoes, 10 strawberries, 10 lettuce. You add seeds to it, 4 seeds, you get 100% boost. You add 2 fert to it, you get another 100% boost. and you add the pallets, which is another mod that's required to come with it, you get another 40% boost. So just water, you're going to get your 16 to 10. You add all three of these, you have a 240% boost to your strawberry production. You don't need all three. You don't need any of them. But if you did seeds and pallets, you're going to get 140 boost. If you do just fert, you're going to get 100% boost. So this combines all those boosts into one thing. Not necessary, but if you have them, if you have extra seeds, you can add that in. Now we go over to this one over here. This is our seeds and fertilizer production. And you see here, seeds. So you put in your fert, solid fert, and any of these three grains, and you get seeds out. Doesn't matter which seed you have in there. Again, it'll go 1, 2, and 3, right? It'll go here first, then here, and then here. Now, I want to thank Hog Eric, a member of my community, Farm Sim community, for helping me explain this. We're not sure if it'll take, 400 wheat and then fill up the remaining 100 of oats or barley if you have it in there. We don't know if that's going to be how it works. I don't know if it'll just switch, say if you have 100 oats in here and 1,000 barley. Will it use the 100 oats and then 400 barley to make your seeds? We're going to have to test that. This is a first look. I haven't had time to test that yet, but we will. Your solid fert is the same. Your manure plus either slurry or digestate gets you solid fert. So it's a combination of the two. So that's why you have all these inputs here. But your recipe only requires one of these two. When it's got those double lines, it only requires one of the two. Again, you only require one of these. Now you can put all three in and it'll just use what it needs, which is very nice. You don't have to keep switching recipes. You don't have, seeds, wheat, seeds, barley, seeds, oat. It's combined into one. It streamlines the process. So now we have the fermenting tower. It's very similar. Again, 40,000 grass or chaff or straw. You get a boost for silage additive. Don't have to have it, but you get 40,000 liters out. So it's 1-to-1 ratio, but you only need one of these. So you can fill it with whatever you have. Again, it's streamlining 3 recipes into one, which is really cool. The other thing here that it noted that it does is you see it says spawning now. It's going to spawn your product. Change your output mode. You got selling, which is normal, distributing, which is normal, and now storing, which is going to keep it. Now spawning in this, we haven't figured out what that's going to do yet, because obviously it comes out here. It's not a pallet, but on the pallets, it should spawn them out onto the normal place. But I don't know. You guys are going to have to put in the comments what you think it is. I am very intrigued by this. Again, I want to thank Hog Eric for walking me through this. Much smarter than I am. This is sort of a global company type light is what I want to describe it as. It is adding many things, this script, and modders can include it in their production since the script's already written to streamline their productions. Different recipes take different things. So no longer are you going to need 7 different recipes to make pig food. It'll make pig food if you have one of something in there, which is very neat. So all these productions, you see, they're running basically the same prices. But this one's actually cheaper. 3, 5, and 10, which is the same prices. All those greenhouses are the same. The factories obviously are going to be a little bit different because they're different factories. But 60,000 for the animal food. Biogas is 1.8 million or 1.18 million. 45 for your fermenting tower, 20,000 for your lime factory, and your seeds and fert is 50,000. So not bad price at all. Pretty neat, innovative mod. I can't wait to some people test this, dive into the details, and see. So next we have the grain dryer. It's right here. Stationary wood chipper. It's right there. It's 25 grand. We have it right here. This is the Zottelzock mod. It is pretty neat. Again, he does a great work. Looking for the switches on here. He always includes switches on his things. Here we go. Information panel. Trigger markers. Warning stripes. And lights. There is the sign. Look at that big sign. Chop your wood effectively. So here's your sell wood, your input, your output, and here's your managed production. So 10,000 liters of wood comes 10,000 liters of wood chips. Pretty simple, but it is a cool looking mod. A little bit different than, you know, using the Brux. A production style wood chipper, which is very neat. Very bright lights. Very cool with the signage. Another cool mod from Zottelzock. And then lastly, we have the grain dryer. Again, this is in our productions, I believe. Right here. 100 grand. It's not exactly cheap. But it is cool looking. It is a small footprint. Again, simple. Grass drying, 1,000 grass equals 1,000 hay, or silage, grass into silage. Either one, both, however you want to do it. It is pretty neat. Now we need to see if this takes bales and or loose. So let's see if we can spawn a bale. It is not taking a bale. Are we in the right spot? No, we're not in the right spot. It is not taking a bale. So loose only. That's okay. Still neat looking. Again, another little building. At least a different color. Something different. And then the last, well, not lastly, we have the 9RT before we get to our last mod. We've had the 9RT in 19. It's back here. 370 grand, 500 to start off with. All kinds of options. We got front weights, 1,200 kilos, 0 front weight, so you just got the bar. You got one equipment, bunch of different signs. Window tinting, you got 3 varieties of window tinting. You got an additional monitor inside, you saw it pop up right there. So we got attachers, spin around the back. As you see there. Engine setups. 517, 572, 628, and a whopping 700 horsepower. Big, big, big. Track setup, we got standard. With weights 2, with weights 3. We got wide with weights 2 and 3, and then standard. Then you got your license plate. All in all, a pretty neat tractor. 700 giant horsepower. Get in there. Let's lease this one just so we can use the next mod. Our last mod of today is the screenshot. Again, this came out before. Let's get this into some light so we can see. This one is similar to the Pro Shot. I think the UI is a little bit easier. So if we get out and we look at our help menu, it says Alt-J. So we hit Alt-J, and then we got a UI right there. Now your controls are a little bit different. You're using your mouse. You could scan around. You do not want to take a screenshot with that on there because that will show up in your picture. So off the left mouse. But you see we got options. We got shader options. It's going to change the the colors. There's black and white, which is kind of neat. Bunch of different shaders. Let's go with 9 there. Kind of a bright washed out. You can change your season. There's fall, mid-autumn, late autumn, early winter, midwinter, late winter. So any season you want. You got your weather, you got sun. We got rain. Clouds. Let's go back to sun one. And then you got the time of day. You want to make this a little bit later in the day. See how the sun's changing? You know, you're going to play around with that, and then your shaders to make it the way you want. I think that's kind of neat. And then you have rotations. You see all these up here. Your movements with your WASD look as normal. If you rotate up and then do that, you can fly over, look down. You got rotations. And then you can, your field of view changes with your mouse wheel. And then when you're ready, you hit enter. You hear the click, you've taken a picture. Another great option. The HUD's gone, everything's gone. You know, you want to take sideways shots of your pictures, there you go. Very good for content creators, very good for people like posting their pictures of the farm. Like I said, you can fly up in the air. You can go down. Oh, we pressed the wrong button. So we're underneath. You want to get a picture of the underneath? There you go. Like I said, we can go up, and then we can scroll back down, and we got an overhead shot. So many mods to do today. So many interesting things. So many different quality mods. What do we pick as our winner? Just for the coolness factor and the ability that I think this mod is going to bring to the game is these production revamps. They're obviously going to get my gold medal today. I think they're very interesting. I'll be very curious to see what modders do with them in the future and if he adds to these with the productions. Because I think a lot can be done with these. So if you like this video, hit that like, hit the subscribe. Leave some comments. Tell me what I missed. Did I screw it up? Did I describe it wrong? Let me know. And until next time...
Tony's Mod Time, it's Mod Time with Tony. Me, I'm Tony, and these are the mods. Mod Time!